All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon, and we're day drinking, so you know it's time for the Steve Breit Rock Discovery Show, located as always in beautiful Pilsen, Illinois. And we're fucking gonna be doing a lively punk show today, as you may have guessed from the opening track. We are listening to Murphy's Law with Quest for Herb, and I like the little bit of double entendre because today's episode is Herb's birthday at the Liars Club. It took place about a month ago, and what a fucking night! It was a completely jam-packed, sold-out night. Great fucking party vibe, but what an insane night. It was jam-packed. It was really rowdy, really fun, great bands, great vibe. And without further ado, let me introduce you to producer extraordinaire, Jake. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, man.
All right.
Getting through the month.
Yeah, and we have been a little bit spotty the last few weeks, but that's because we're on the hunt for a new studio. So new digs around the corner, so new things to come. But keeping things on a little bit of a fast tip today because Jake is actually looking at new venues this afternoon.
Yes.
We'll just dive right in. We've got a wonderful fucking beer that we're jamming out to today. This is Forbidden Root Hoodie Weather. It is a Vienna style lager. It's a 5.5 ABV, and this is really good hair of the dog beer. I was out a little bit late last night and day drinking. But this is great. Very smooth, very clean. Just like the weather outside. This is definitely a nice springtime drinker. I can get used to this one, and very nice, very clean. Very, very smooth.
Steve Breit, stamp of approval.
Yeah, Steve Breit, stamp of approval. And then moving on. As always, we've got our tradition, so yet another shirt. And by the way, I think on my Instagram, I've been doing a new tour shirt every day, just going through the collection of shirts I've picked up over the years. And I believe today was day 103.
That's crazy.
So it's not done yet. I still have a bunch more, so I'm actually kind of shocked that I might hit a third of the year wearing a different shirt every single day.
I can't believe you're shocked because I'm not.
But yeah, so today we've got Fast Plants. Don't hate on my 88. They are really fucking good. Really good party band. Why don't we just dive into a track and check it out? So we're going to listen to Downhill Slide. Real party vibe. This is off of the where in my notes? Spread the Stoke LP, and let's just get into it. Great party band, great opener to the mood of the afternoon.
All right, let's check it out.
We're back. Fast Plants, Downhill Slide. Real fucking cool party vibe and really cool evening. Like I said, Liars Club is a great venue. They know the audience that comes in there and they cater to them well. It's a very cool place. It's a small place, but one of my more favorite intimate rooms to catch a show. Unfortunately, like on a night like this, where it's a jam packed house, if you're not up close, you're not going to be able to see very much because there's about maybe an 8-foot gap
Yeah.
if you're standing in the back to be able to see all the way back there.
Remind me where this was again. I'm sorry, you just said it. But
Liars Club.
Right.
So
Not the biggest place.
no, not the biggest place, but a fun place. I used to live over right by there, so I was there a lot more often, but it's still nice to get back. Changing things up, I wanted to fucking dig into this. We've got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We've got, well, not here, but Coachella weekend 1 is taking place right now out in California.
As we speak.
As we speak. And then here in Chicago, we've got Star Wars Celebration. So they just announced the new movie title yesterday and premiered the new trailer. So that was kind of cool to watch. And then, this week there's been a couple announcements on upcoming festivals and street parties in the city that I thought were worthy of note. So, like...
Tell us about them.
What's up?
Tell us about them.
All right. So first we got Do Division. They released their lineup for 2019, and it's going to be May 31st to June 2nd. And headliners are Russian Circles, Y, Scatolites, Meat Puppets, Cool Kids, Mikhail Cronin, Pyle, Michaela McCraven. Who else is on here that's pretty good? Juju. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one. I like Do Division. I like the Street Fest. So looking forward to that one. That'll be fun. Definitely going to check out Russian Circles. Scatolites, that's a nice little deep cut reggae. So they'll be fun. Meat Puppets, classic. Cool Kids, really cool. Good stuff. And then next up, this year's Cold Waves Festival was announced, and it's going to be 4 days again this year. Pretty good lineup. Nice differentiation from the last few years where we had a lot of, Frontline Assembly, Front 242, Meat Beat Manifesto. Real heavy on the Wax Tracks specific bands.
Speaking of Wax Tracks,
yeah,
they're doing a documentary screening at Vans today.
Yes, the Industrial Incident. I have been waiting.
We
to
actually
check
have tickets
that
to that if you'd like to go.
Oh, I am so in.
All
I'm
right.
so very much in. I think for a lot of the old heads in Chicago, Wax Tracks was definitely a part of your life if you were in the music scene and a fan of, live performance and, kind of cutting edge music back in the day, back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So it's always fun that they put out the Cold Waves Festival. And this year, Thursday, the headliners are Populate Itself, ChemLab, Acumen, and Curse Mackey. So that's a pretty stacked night. That'll be really fun. The one that I'm really excited about, though, is Friday. Nitzareb is coming back to Chicago. Now, that's a band, I haven't seen them for decades, literally. I think the last time I saw them was in 1991 at the Metro. So wow. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm definitely getting tickets for Friday. Saturday is Test Department and Severed Heads. Now, Severed Heads played a couple years ago. They were really good. And Test Department, again, I haven't seen them since back in the day. And I'd be really curious to check out that one. Then Sunday we've got Filter and Pig and Paul Barker. So interesting. Well, no, I think back in the day, Filter was definitely not in my wheelhouse. So
right.
I'm not down for that headliner. But Pig is really good. Close associations to Wax Tracks, to KMFDM, and then Paul Barker, who is the other half of Ministry. So from back in the day, from the Wax Tracks era, and up until the, I believe, early 2000s, he was in the band. So that should be very cool. And then Street Sex. I forgot about that. Street Sex is a band that we covered last year. I believe they might have been one of the openers for the Horror in Three Teeth show from Reggie's last year.
Okay.
So getting back into a little bit of bands
yeah.
we've talked about in the past. But no, I just wanted to throw that out there. I was excited to hear about some of those announcements. Like I said, definitely in for Nitzareb, definitely in for Populate Itself and some of that old school industrial. And then, of course, Russian Circles. Love that Chicago vibe. So why don't we just dip right back into some more music? So when we listen to Fast Plants, like I said, this show was really fucking high energy and curated is not the necessarily best word, but the lineup was like perfect for the vibe, So we had Fast Plants that had a very like party vibe to it, Next band we're going to listen to, we're going to hear a couple tracks from Squared Off, which is we're going to hear a couple tracks off the Call of the Road LP. Very anthemic. To me, they came off as very East Coast hardcore punk in the vein of I think Agnostic Front or Dropkick Murphys. And I'm sure listening to a couple of these tracks, you can get that vibe for yourself. So why don't we just dip in? We're going to do I Didn't Vote for Them, and then we're going to do Blue Collar Cry, and then we're going to come back and chat some more.
All right, let's check this one out. This is Steve Breit Rock Discovery Show. This is Mild Sauce Radio. It's kind of hot.
Guys are watching and liking to see but the feeling of big entities. They are scarred of the entire nation. We attack with our representation. I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for them. I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for them. Vote for them. I'm the judges and overall thinkers. And the scum of decision makers. Those are killers of the middle class. Greedy politician until that's good for us. I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for them. I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for them. I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for them. I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for, I didn't vote for them. Vote for them. Fucking scumbag. Listen up, my friends, this one is for you. Now the day is through, so rejoice with a brew. To bring out the good times, the stories of memories. As we treasure the moments with friends and family. Hooray, hooray, to the blue collar crew. This is a working class cry. Hustle and toil, burn the midnight oil, chase down the sorrows with ride. Together to bury a base, to rid our pitfalls and praise all our gains. So let's get together to make up for all times. As we shout out in joy and we holler out this rhyme. Hooray, hooray to the blue collar crew. This is a working class grind. Hustle and toil, murder midnight oil, chase down the sorrow we ride. The good times and bad times will stick to the end. With the brotherhood we'll never divide. So we'll raise our glasses to the night away, to a party will never die. Come on, my patrons, a beer and true friends. Together, let's seize the night. Let's trade to good fortune and pick the night away and give every struggle a good fight. Hooray, hooray to the blue collar crew. This is a working class grind. We hustle and draw, burn the midnight oil, chase down the sorrows we ride. And hooray, hooray to the blue collar crew. This is a working class grind. Hustle and draw, burn the midnight oil, chase down the sorrows we ride. And hooray, hooray, blue collar crew. Hooray, hooray, the blue collar crew. Hooray, hooray, the blue collar crew. This is a working class grind. Oh, screw this beer, give me a whiskey
We're back.
shot.
Hot Sauce Live. It's kind of hot, you know. Jamming out to Squared Off. Like I said, very East Coast vibe, very anthemic, very indicative to me of, you know, East Coast first wave hardcore. So, you know, very fitting with our headliner. But very cool stuff. I had never heard of them before, but I obviously I picked up the album and have been listening to it quite a bit, so I like it a lot. Next up, we've got Fast Plants. That was the T-shirt song this week, and like I said, man, they brought a real sense of fun, I think, to the proceedings in the evening. I really dig these guys. They've got a little bit of a more punk edge for what I kind of feel is like a very partyish band. So I dig it. So why don't we just dive right in? We've got Spread the Stoke and Kooks, and that both of these are off of the Spread the Stoke EP or LP. I recommend giving it a listen. Search it out. It's very good stuff.
All right. Without further ado, here we go. Also, if you have some time, we're up on Facebook and everywhere else. We're trying to spread it around. So if you hear me typing away in the background, that's just promotion, baby.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Care Bear, Murphy's Law.
No.
Excuse me.
No.
Road to Ruin by Bad Sons.
Nope.
No. What did I skip?
All right, so we're a
You
little bit out
fucked
of
up.
order.
Are we on Fast Plants?
We're gonna do Fast Plants. So we got Spread the Stoke, and then we got Kooks.
Oh, my bad. Fast Plants and Squared Off look so similar to me, and I messed up a little bit on mine. So let's just rewind and we'll go there. Here we go.
We'll do it live.
That was your fault.
My bad. Sorry. Oh, did I number them wrong?
No, on here, you got to make sure it's right on both things.
Oh shit. Well, no. If cause shit.
Fast Plants is before Squared Off in this one.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. That's on you, not me.
All right. We back? All right, we're back. Miles House Live. Fast Plants. We got a little sloppy, but you know what?
We'll take that one. It's kind of punk in that way.
Exactly. We're fucking raw. We don't edit. We do it live. No fucking around.
All right,
No
well,
looking back.
enjoy that. Enjoy that little 2-song parlay.
But yeah, so we had Fast Plants, and like I said, they were really cool. And this brings me, you know, back to my ever-present point. You know, if you're gonna come to Chicago, make sure you bring some XLs, man. I had money to spend at this show because it was so crowded. You know, you get a couple beers and then just kind of like plant yourself in. You know, so I wasn't drinking as freely as I might typically have been, just because it was a pain in the ass to get some beers. But afterwards, I think Bad Sons didn't have any XLs left. Squared Off didn't have any XLs left. I've seen Murphy's Law a bunch of times, so it was like, well, I really don't need another Murphy's Law shirt necessarily. So not necessarily because anybody was less good or more good, you know, better than anybody else, but you know, Fast Plants was kind of a process of elimination shirt because there was no other XLs left.
Just had to get it type thing.
Well, yeah, of
Not
course.
going home empty-handed.
Exactly. I'm not gonna not get something. So, so shout outs to the bands, man. Bring the XL shirts to Chicago. I will pay money. But no, this brings us to the next band. We are kind of powering through, and this is a good one because Jake's got some studio searching to do in a little bit.
Yep.
So next up, we got the Bad Sons. These guys were really cool. Actually, after the set, had an opportunity to chat with the band for a little bit, and really fun guys. Really cool vibe. I loved the attitude that they brought to the proceedings in the evening. You know, they were really fucking feeling the energy of the crowd and throwing it right back at them, and it made for a really cool performance. And really enjoyed it. You know, these guys kicked ass. We're gonna play stuff off a couple of their releases. So the first track is gonna be off the Cry Tough EP, and it's gonna be Road to Ruin, and then the second track we're going to listen to is off of the Hot Face release, and this is Don't Look My Way. And like I said, I think you know, heavy on the attitude, which in the best way possible, and I think you'll pick that out on the tracks yourself. And they fucking brought it. They killed it.
Let's check it out. Here we go. Where are we at?
We are at Bad Sons Road
Oh,
to Ruin.
see. This is where.
Did I just do this all backwards?
No, this is where you fucked me up.
Oh, sorry.
So now we're all discombobulated. We'll get back on track right here. We got Road to Ruin by Bad Sons.
I took the late night L call for the city lights. Knew acting like a child. I'm still just a little kid. Taking speed now. Built up these walls. Took me goddamn long years. Fill the space without the wall. You're the one who's drowning now. But me, lost love. I'm sorry, I can't say why. Got the wrong, let it go. Yeah, you dug your own grave. So don't look my way. You dug your own Say you're in your dark style when the sun won't shine for you. Don't you look to me now? I was never no son to you. You're egoistic with me. My arrogance never will live. The grab with my gun to spit by. And after that, don't give a shit. It's just too little too late. Nothing new. Expect nothing from no one. I learned from you. Yeah, you dug your own grave. So don't look my way. You dug your own grave. The tears they may be flowing, but please don't think of you. They ain't there for happiness. After all the shame you put us through. And now you look for comfort, but man, it just ain't there. So remember what you told me. Life just ain't fair. Ha! Dug your own grave. So don't look my way. Dug your own grave.
All right, we're back. Mild Sauce Live, jamming out to Bad Sons. We heard Road to Ruin and Don't Look My Way. They fucking killed it. They were really fucking cool. And this brings us to the headliner of the evening, the reason that everybody got together. So this was Herb's birthday. And Herb, of course, you know, the grand poobah of Liars Club itself, and you know, integral member in the famous Beer Nuts. If you've never seen the Beer Nuts, then you fucking missed out. They were awesome. Chicago band, I believe last Halloween was their alleged final show, but we had a little bit of an impromptu reunion for the birthday party, and we'll dip into that in a little bit. But you know, Murphy's Law, holy shit. This, like I said, I think last time we were taping, you know, this got into a stretch of, I think, some of the best concerts I've seen of the year. Now, there's a lot of year left, obviously, but you know, these shows have set a high bar, and you know, Murphy's Law did not disappoint. This is one of those bands where, you know, as long as I have been conscious and a fan of music, I have been a fan of Murphy's Law. I've seen them. I don't even know how many times. I've seen them at the Old Bottom Lounge under the Red Line off of Belmont. I've seen them. They used to do the Halloween shows with Guar. So I've seen them at the Congress back when that was open with Guar and the Misfits. That was an insane night. I've seen them just so many fucking times. I love this band. I will come to the show every time they come into the city. You know, Jimmy Gestapo is a fucking he's just a fucking hero of the hardcore scene. You know, he's still fucking kicking and still putting out, you know, well, still not necessarily putting out, still touring, and you know, still around, still performing, still being the badass that he always has been, and that's what I love so much about it. So, you know, we started the show off with Quest for Herb. We're gonna dip into a little bit of Back with the Bong era, Murphy's Law with Care Bear, one of my most favorite songs, and then we're gonna go into Skinhead Girl, the you know, the famous cover from the Party's Over LP. You know, just kind of tracking through a little bit of their highlights, and of course they played all these songs. It was an amazing set. Like I said, if you were not up close, you were not getting doused in beer and drinking the Jägermeister as it was flowing around. So, you know, you got to get up close for the Murphy's Law. And without further ado, you know, I love these fucking guys. So why don't we just dip right in? Care Bear, Murphy's Law.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back. Mild Sauce Live. Fucking favorite band in the world. Murphy's Law, Care Bear, Skinhead Girl. Classic tracks. Amazing. And such a treat that, Jimmy's still out there fucking hitting the road, doing his thing. We still get to check it out. And it's definitely one of those bands that I've loved in my entire fucking adult life. And I love seeing them. And it's so cool that, they can play an intimate space where you can be like right up in the mix. I mean, like I was soaked in all the beer that was flying around that night. I had to clean my boots afterwards. I mean, they were completely fucking soaked. So this brings us to the end. Like I said, we're powering through this episode, but thanks to, everybody at Mild Sauce. Thanks to producer extraordinaire Jake. Thanks to, the 3-Piece Morning Show. Thanks to, Backcourt. Shout-outs to them. And, of course, shout-outs to Mars, DJ Police State. And what else we got going on in the week ahead on Mild Sauce, Jake?
In the week coming up, we should have a couple shows. We should have the Soul Sisters and Peach's Petty podcast coming back this week.
Nice.
The Guide to Grade A Living, I believe, is that this week? What's the date today? The 13th? Yeah, so in 4 days, on the 17th, we'll have the Guide to Grade A Living live at the Hoxton for our first event with the Hoxton Hotel.
Excellent.
And you can go online and check out our recent episode from the Whistler last week. Me and Wesley Parker hosted Let's Talk Chicago, Mild Sauce's late night talk show. And we had a nice little showing out there. It was a lot of fun. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the social media. Mm-hmm. We're all over the place. And yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
that's what I got.
I think that brings us to the end. And, the fun thing about this show was, Herb was out and about, in and around the crowd, and sporadically throughout the night he would jump up on stage and perform a cover, perform a little song or two with the bands, and then jump out, do his thing. And, we would be remiss if we didn't play, the Beer Nuts, their best song. They're my favorite fucking song. This is the classic. Murphy's Law has played it. Beer Nuts has played it. I think it's a perfect Chicago punk song. So, they closed out the night with an impromptu Beer Nuts reunion to, of course, play Woke Up Tied Up. So we will wrap the episode and go off on Woke Up Tied Up from the Beer Nuts. And this, I believe, is from their live 2014 CD. So let's just do it. Beer Nuts, Woke Up Tied Up, Mild Sauce. It's kind of hot.
Let's do it.
How the fuck are you, black Irish bastards? I can't hear you fucking hillbillies!
Let's hear it for that fucking midget who left. The next midget you see on the street, kill him.
Beat the midget's ass!
Inches?
The old Irish Rover. Leanne's looking good tonight, huh, fellas? free. Some shot. You know I take them on. Smash leg. If you know me. Woke up, tied up, the radiator. Woke up, tied up, answers later. Woke up, tied up, gotta get it fast. Woke up, tied up. That's on my ass. Woke up, tied up to the radiator. Woke up, tied up, isolator. Woke up, tied up, gotta get her fast. Woke up, tied up. Woke up, tied up to the radiator. Woke up, tied up, isolator. Woke up, tied up, gotta get her fast. Woke up, tied up, woke up.